Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. It is Friday. Duh. You already know that. Captain Obvious here. Are you ready for some radio superbity? And we got a couple guests coming up at 8:05 in the studio. Steve Markovic, my favorite Croatian in the world, is going to be here to tell us how do you do aerobic exercises while you're cleaning your house. You know what, Steve? You're right, because last early evening, I had to rip up carpet in my basement from the septic tank back up a little bit. And I can tell you right now, by the time I got finished with this house cleaning, I had a workout. Got some funny stories to tell you about that. In addition, at 8:35, we have the one, the only, Dr. Mark Weckenbrock calling in, who's going to tell you all about figure weight loss, which I am on the program. And, Doc, I just want to go ahead and tell you, in 1 week, I have lost 10 pounds on this program.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
He's going to get you in TV fit shape.
That's right. I figure, TV, they say adds 10 pounds. I think it adds 20.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, ladies and gentlemen, get this. I'm going to go from 223. I'm already down at 213. I'm going to go from 223 down to 183.
So right now you're widescreen. You want to get down to full view.
That's correct.
Gotcha.
Nobody thinks I weigh that much either. I'm a compact guy. Because I'm not like a big obese guy.
No.
But it's incredible that I weigh 225 pounds. But the big news yesterday. Let's start today with the big news from yesterday.
Well, what could that be?
John Edwards, the jury after 9 days. Now, let me have the microphone for a minute here, American jury. And then you can call in and bash me. Because yours truly, the Bulldog, has a take on this. Some things are similar to others. But my bottom line on this, different than anybody I've heard. 513-579-1160 if I spark your anger. The jury, after 9 days in the John Edwards trial in North Carolina, found him not guilty on one count of Miss Bunny, giving him money illegally. And they were hung up on the other four, and mistrial was declared. And I am confident on the other four that they were weighed towards not guilty based on the one not guilty verdict. In other words, if they were not guilty on the main charge, I'll guarantee you that they were hung up because maybe there was one person or two people that wanted to convict him on those other charges. I oppose this prosecution from day one. John Edwards lost the election. He lost his wife. Let me tell you something, folks. Despite the last year of their life together, does anyone doubt her death and her suffering did not affect him some? I'm telling you, the guy made some stupid decisions. The guy might even be a douchebag. But don't act like to me that the death of Elizabeth Edwards, who was his life mate, mother of all those kids, that wasn't a heck of a punch in his gut, especially when you throw on his guilt on top of it. He also was publicly humiliated. Publicly humiliated. That's different than like making your wife mad, nobody knows. He was publicly humiliated on the international stage. So let's try to put him in jail for crimes. Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, no one had ever been prosecuted for these crimes before. The Federal Elections Commission said he did nothing wrong, but he committed an elections crime? Another comment I hear, which is kind of, another comment I have that, unlike everyone else I know, is I liked his post-verdict speech to the media. I liked it. There is an old saying. In fact, my dad and I picked this up on the calendar, or not the calendar, Gatlinburg, when we were down there, and he has it in the horse barn office. It says, when the horse is dead, get off. John Edwards, quote unquote, died a long time ago. Do we have to keep beating on him? I think John Edwards has been beaten up enough. Does it bother you that he loves his daughter, Quinn? The daughter he has with Hunter? There's people that attacked him that he mentioned Quinn. I heard on 5 on 5 on Fox News this morning, they said, oh, he mentioned all of his children's names. They said it in a negative tone because the guy thanked his daughter Kate for standing next to him through that humiliating trial. And because he mentioned publicly, oh, does it make you mad that he loves Quinn, folks? Does it make you mad? I think he was good. He publicly announced. Would it make you feel better if he said, I hate that baby that I fathered? Would that make 5 on 5 feel better? Another thing that irritates me is how people bash him now, and they say how bad they feel. They bash him and they say, you know, I hate John Edwards, but I feel so bad for his parents and children. Really? Who the heck do you think they love? Him. Who he loves? Them. How yucky for someone to act like they can be against him, but for his family and for his kids. If you're for his family and you're for his kids, you'll start leaving John Edwards alone. What a wonderful person, by the way, Kate Edwards is with being her father every day. By the way, if I was ever in that kind of predicament, that's the way my oldest daughter, Erica, would be. Kate reminds me of Erica. I understand the prosecution got the jury instructions they wanted, the rulings they wanted on all the evidence. They kept the FEC experts were kept out for the defense, and they still lost. The prosecution has wasted our federal taxpayers on a prosecution of somebody trying to cover up an infidelity. I'm confident there's not going to be another, but who knows? Prosecutors, they go off the ranch sometimes. They lose sight of any common decency and just want to, quote unquote, get their man. Finally, I'll ask this, folks. You ever lost a child? I hope not. You know why? Because the pain is there every day. Edwards lost a teenage son in an accident. His oldest child, his oldest boy. If you're a father, you know what that bond's like. On top of everything else he went through, he carries the loss of that son every day. Now, Edwards isn't my kind of guy. $400 haircuts, you ain't gonna hear the Bulldog. Even if I had hair, I wouldn't get a $400 haircut. He shows signs of narcissism, that's obvious. But it's time for everyone to move on. And if you are a Christian, I'm a Christian, you should know even Edwards can redeem himself. And I crack up at these Fox News people saying, oh, is he wanting a political comeback? God isn't through with me yet? Like he was going to run for office. Are you kidding me? You interpret that he wants to run for office again? I guarantee you, John Edwards isn't interested in running for public office anymore. He's interested in finding a cause like the poor. And you know what? Is it going to make you mad that John Edwards wants to make the poor in this country his mission in life? Is that going to make you mad? Oh, that John Edwards. He's trying to help the poor. I don't like John Edwards. He'd cheat on his wife. So many want to beat him down even further. I say this. John Edwards has been through enough. I say leave John Edwards alone. Keith the North Side, you're on Real Talk 1160.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
You know, I agree with you with a lot of stuff you're saying about that trial, and then there's more to it, too, that just absolutely, completely, and totally just outrages me. I agree about everything you're saying, but there's more to it. What that trial was about was trying to prove to people, oh, we're trying to do something about corruption in government and politics. And they were putting on this phony, worthless show trial that was an absolute, complete, and total joke. You know what I'm talking about, Eric?
Yep.
Because if you had a brain in your head, okay, you had to find that guy not guilty. And I'm going to tell you why and why that trial was so damn phony.
The FCC found him not guilty.
This is about the trial itself that's so.
You got about 30 seconds, Keith. You got to hurry. You got to hurry. Make your point, buddy.
The prosecuting attorneys left out the two most important pieces of evidence in the entire trial and didn't present that to the jury. The two most important pieces of evidence in the entire trial are the crazy old lady that was supposedly coughing up the money and the lady the entire affair was all about. And the prosecuting attorneys did not subpoena them to court and put them in front of the jury. So the jury had to find him not guilty.
All right.
That was stupid.
It was stupid, Keith, and I thank you for calling. Amy, you're going to be next as soon as we get back from this very short break. It's only a couple minutes. 513-579-1160. Do you stand with me? Leave John Edwards alone. Enough already. Or do you say, let's beat him down some more? The Bulldog on Real Talk 1160.
Stick around for Bill O'Reilly's Talking Points coming up at 7:28 this morning here on Real Talk 1160. All right, American jury, the Bulldog is barking. It's your turn to bark back. Back to the Bulldog.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. If you're living in Kentucky today, just want to let you know you're driving through 1792 on this day. Kentucky became the 15th state. Amy, you're on Real Talk 1160. Say something witty or wise for me.
Hi, Eric.
How you doing?
I am not with you on John Edwards at all.
You don't have to be with me on it.
I know. I want to know, where did the money go? Was it put into the campaign funds? Where was it distributed? Those are my questions. Did anybody claim it? Because we need the IRS in here now.
So Amy, you want to now, let's prosecute him for tax fraud.
Whatever. I think it's scum.
What would satisfy
scum?
Amy? What would satisfy you enough that John Edwards, you will say, okay, he now has been punished enough?
I don't know that I really think he should go to jail. But
you want him dead?
No, I don't want him dead. But I think you feel sorry for him because his wife died. Well, you know what? He made her last year pretty miserable. So he had no sympathy for her. So I have no sympathy for him about his poor wife, Elizabeth. None. He made her last year terrible. And what about her kids? Do you care about her kids?
So his entire life with her, all those wonderful memories as a family and all those children and going through all that, you think to yourself that because of the last year that just blows away everything else about him and her and their relationship.
I think he pissed away everything.
Then how come she asked him? How come she asked him? She did not want a divorce, and she asked him to her bedside, her final days. She wanted to be with him because she knew they still had something. Just because he had this fling with Riley Hunter, who, by the way, she is a fruitcake. But anyway, bottom line, though, is just because of all those things, Amy, just because of all those things does not mean that they did not have a relationship. I don't care. I'm telling you, I don't care what the heck happened that last year. Him and Elizabeth Edwards still had a history. They still had a bond. They still had something. And her death pained him, probably pained him even more because of his guilt. He lost a son. He lost the election. He was publicly humiliated in the world. The guy,
he should be.
Does it make you mad that he goes home and has dinner with his kids every night?
No.
Does it make you mad that he spoke?
Because I feel bad for the kids. They've lost their mom.
Oh, God.
I do. I feel terrible for his kids.
See, so you're one of those people that say, well, you feel bad for the kids. Guess who the kids love, Amy? Guess who the kids love? They love John Edwards. They love John Edwards.
I'm sure they do because he's a dad. But do you think they really don't have any personal resentment, embarrassment, what they're going through?
No, because let me tell you, there's two kinds of unconditional love. That from a parent to a child and from a child to a parent, baby.
I agree.
Kate,
where did the money go, Eric? Do you know the answer to that?
No, I don't. Here's my problem, Amy. Like, you care where it all went? I don't care.
Well, you know what? I think that somebody, if he's going to take all this money, because he had plenty of his own, so I'm sure he probably could have had access to his own money, but he took this rich old lady's money to take care of his girlfriend.
And by the way, Amy, there's no doubt how they treated Bonnie was terrible. But let me tell you something. I got another problem with this whole thing. Andrew Young was taking that woman's money. John Edwards didn't know this. He was using the money to build a house. He was using his play money. Oh, we need more money. Andrew Young. And what does the government do? They give Andrew Young, that scumbag, immunity. So we're not going to prosecute. He was the one that stole money. He built the house on Bunny's money. That's funny. He built the house on Bunny money. Thanks for calling, Amy. I like that. Amy, call more often. She and I usually agree on things. It's fun.
Is a great
it's
word.
fun. It's fun disagreeing with friends, though. Amy's a friend.
Yeah.
Jim and White Oak, you're on Real Talk 1160. Say something witty or wise.
I don't know if I will, but Eric, this is the first time I'm going to disagree with you.
Everybody's disagreeing with me because I am a good guy. I'm a Christian man. I'm a forgiving man. I believe in redemption. And everybody else wants to prosecute, criminalize, and hang everybody.
Well, no, I got to look at this as what happens to public officials. This is a public thing. Jim Trafficant, congressman from Youngstown, goes to jail for nothing. Actually, he goes to jail for his virtues because he.
I like that crazy guy.
Oh, he made the IRS go to court before they could take somebody's house, which almost never happens anymore. They used to just come in and take people's house. And actually, he thanked Rob Portman, believe it or not, on the floor of Congress as he was giving his swan song speech, which surprised me. Congressman George Hansen, 20 years ago, for the same reason, went to jail for nothing, for trying to help the American people get a fair shake with the IRS. Now we have Edwards. Okay, Edwards is, in my opinion, what I would be happy with is him to spend a year or two in jail because...
Oh, come on!
There is no way, Eric, there is no way that $1 million is not campaign spending. He did it to hide that affair from the public because if the public knew, his wife would know. And so I'm not even counting how much he hurt his wife, who did that incredibly humiliating thing to herself.
Sad.
But that is not why. It is because this is clear. The $1 million was to hide what he was doing from the public. It was campaign related. I don't know how anybody can think it wasn't. But anyway, that's my. Hey,
how about Riley? How messed up is this? That Riley Hunter needed that much pampering attention. Riel Hunter needed all that attention. And what kind of it's kind of like, John, I want to stay in luxury hotels. I want to do this. I mean, thanks for helping me out there, love of my life. So here's soulmate. Thanks for helping me out.
Maybe here's a topic that somebody could do for 5 minutes. Who was crazier, Bunny or Rail Hunter?
That's a great. You know what? We got to change our blog and newsletter today, Jim. We got to put that. That's perfect. Who's crazier, Bunny or Riel Hunter? Good call. 513-579-1160. We're going to have to call the John Edwards hotline today. No matter what we're discussing the rest of the show, feel free to call in and weigh in. And I think at sometime in the 8 o'clock hour, I will review my position on John Edwards and get everybody else riled up again. Today's famous birthdays. Oh, my goodness, we're loaded. Heidi Klum, 39.
Really?
She's single. Lisa Hartman Black, 56.
Yeah.
Clint, woman. Morgan Freeman.
Really?
75. Andy Griffith, 86.
I knew that.
Marilyn Monroe's birthday.
I knew that.
Brigham Young.
Did not know that.
Mitt Romney's taken off campaigning to honor Brigham Young.
And what was
I'm just making that up. I have no idea if that's true.
Couple other birthdays. What was that guy? He wore leather at the Grammys one year. Pat Boone, his birthday's today. And one big birthday today.
Who is it?
Very important to me. If it wasn't for this birthday, I wouldn't be here.
Mom.
My mom's birthday today, June 1st. Happy birthday, Mom. I love you.
Happy birthday. What's her name?
Ann. We call her Dr. Mom.
That's for Ann, baby.
Happy birthday, Mom.
I love it. That's good. I'm glad you.
Star-studded today.
Thank God you brought that up. We had to honor her mom. Hey, I heard this story the other night about a mortician was working late one night.
All right.
And he examined the body of Mr. Schwartz, who's about to be cremated. But he noticed that his private parts were like the biggest private parts he'd ever seen. So he says, "I'm sorry, Mr. Schwartz," the mortician commented. "Oh, man, I can't allow you to be cremated with such an impressive private part." So he removed it, stuffed it in his briefcase, and took it home. "I have something to show you I won't believe," he said. He opened his briefcase. "My God," his wife exclaimed, "Schwartz is dead." This is the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. Happy birthday to Kentucky. Before we go to the two fat guys, I want to honor Petty Officer Second Class Sean E. Brassis from Greensboro, North Carolina. Guess what? That's right. He died in Afghanistan. God bless the Navy. God bless him, his family, his loved ones. And then also we have to mention, and my blog and newsletter has a extended obituary as well as a photograph. We lost a local boy, Corporal Nicholas H. Olivius, 20, of Fairfield, Ohio, from the Army. 3 months after arriving in Afghanistan for his first deployment, he was killed while on patrol Wednesday morning. His father, former Hamilton mayor, told the Dayton Daily News his son was killed by, you guessed it, improvised explosive device. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, I don't understand why more soldiers have to die in Afghanistan.
That kid just graduated from high school in 2010, same year as my daughter.
It's incredible. But boy.
He's a kid.
I saw the news, talking to his parents, man. I tell you right now, I get sad, and I get patriotic, and I get angry all at once. But anyway, we went on. Oh, by the way, this is incredible. Hey, two fat guys, do you know what national day it is today?
What's that?
It is National Donut Day.
Yeah. This is Rick's favorite holiday.
So I
didn't even know it, and I love this day.
How many donuts do the two fat guys, Smokey and Rick? How many donuts are you going to eat on National Donut Day?
I'll do at least a dozen.
Isn't it amazing how a Krispy Kreme donut, you start eating that thing, or those glaze, and you can eat like 12 of them like that.
My mouth's watering now so much. I like the jelly ones from Krispy Kreme. Oh, man.
My favorite donut is the custard. Do you all sell donuts at Ace Hardware? Ace Hardware sells everything else. Do you sell donuts?
We do not sell donuts, but we'll have them tomorrow morning.
You want to hear something funny? I got two more guests today that are all about trying to lose weight, and I got to talk to you guys about donuts. What's going on in Ace Hardwares these days?
Oh, big sales. It's a great weekend this weekend. It's a lot cooler. Us fat guys like that a lot. You get out and do a lot of planning and work on your yard this weekend without sweating a bunch.
Well, that's good. I tell you right now, the temperatures were so hot last weekend. We have a swimming pool. If you weren't in the swimming pool, you were sweating.
Oh, it's terrible. I had to get a kiddie pool for Smokey to stick it out front of the store and then ice him down.
I want pictures.
He was sweating so bad.
I want pictures.
Oh, yeah.
No, you don't.
Do you guys want to weigh in on the John Edwards trial?
I think it was a debacle. He at least got convicted. I didn't think he'd serve any time, but it's ridiculous.
All right. Well, what are you guys going to talk about on your show tomorrow?
Planting without bending over. That's what we're going to do.
Oh, my God. So you can't. What's wrong with bending over while you're planting and losing some weight, fat guys?
You cannot bend over when you're as big as Rick.
So how do you plant without bending over?
You're going to have to listen to the show and find out tomorrow. This is radio gold.
It's pretty good.
Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury and Bulldog Nation, if you don't want to exercise so bad that you're unwilling to even bend over planting plants, tune in tomorrow to listen to the two fat guys, and they will tell you how you will not get any sweat or any exercise by planting plants.
Well, we still sweat. Just getting out there is a sweat.
What, you guys are on at 10 o'clock, right?
Right.
All right.
Hey, I got a question for you, Bulldog. Did you buy that Facebook stock?
Yeah, I bought a bunch of it, and it's just crashed.
Man, Zuckerberg, he lost so much money last week that Obama's approached him to become the Secretary of Finance.
You know what? I got this. I'm a conspiracy theorist, guys. You know what I think? I think Zuckerberg knew all of this was going to happen. He's staying calm, staying cool. And what's going to happen is the stock price is going to go down, down, down. He's going to buy a whole bunch at a low price. And then they are going to announce some new big thing that Facebook's got up their sleeve, which is going to blow the stock through the roof. You watch it. You heard it first right here.
So are you doubling down right now then?
No, I'm bailing. I'm not even following my own advice. Any final words, Smokey and Rick? Any final words?
Get into your local Ace Hardware, and this is a perfect time with the rain and the cool weather to plant grass. And if you got any holes, which everybody does, it's perfect. Get in there and plant your grass.
All right, guys. Have a great show tomorrow, and it's always great having you on Friday morning.
Thanks, Bulldog. You too.
They're funny guys, man. Funny guys. Hey, did you hear this news, TC?
What's that?
Kim Kardashian and Kanye West are going to move in together.
Oh, no.
Oh.
They're going to be living in sin? Or
Or
they're going to be living in Hollywood?
I don't know.
Same thing.
I wonder if they watched the Kelly video, Bieber blacked out in France after a concert last night, or during a concert. He blacked out. Bieber's having a tough. He gets into this fight. He blacks out. Apparently, there was a problem in his Norway concert. Bieber's having some problems, man.
What happened? Was he just exhausted from overwork? I
think he hit his head or something.
Oh, okay.
Michael Jackson's house. Some businessman wants to pay $17 million. You know what? If I was a billionaire, I would not want to live in Michael Jackson's house. Creepy stuff. Do you not agree?
I wouldn't want to live there. But I like maybe play in the ranch, ride the llamas.
And did you hear about this, TC? Hugh Hefner. Remember Crystal Harris, that 26-year-old former fiance that dogged him publicly, kept the ring, all this other stuff?
What happened to
He's
her?
letting her move back in.
Are you serious?
Hugh's taking Crystal back.
Wow, Hugh, are you serious? Come on. Really? One question.
Hey, the things men will do for a beautiful, beautiful. You would know, TC.
Well, now you're Hugh Hefner, okay? You're hanging out at the mansion. Okay? You've got bunnies all over the place, right?
Yes.
Pick of the litter, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
What is it about this girl?
Mm-hmm. TC, I got a phone call yesterday at about 2 o'clock. My wife goes, the septic tank is backed up in our basement. And I'm like, what?
Uh-oh.
Thank God it wasn't bad. Just the carpet had to be ripped up. But true story, TC. Roto-Rooter guy comes.
Yeah.
His name's Aaron. He says, Bulldog, huge fan, buddy.
Nice.
The two guys come from Surf Pro to clean it up, take out the carpet and everything. And by the way, these guys worked at 8 o'clock in the morning all the way till 10 o'clock when they left my house last night. These guys worked. They decided to stop and take care of me before going home. True story. Dave and his buddy, I forget the other guy, before they leave, they said, hey, Bulldog. I said, what? Will you put more jokes in your newsletter? We read it every day. What are the odds? The Roto-Rooter guy and the Surf Pro guy are fans of our show, TC.
Nice.
Is that not awesome?
That's incredible. Good morning, guys. Thanks for listening.
Well, we got to give Surf Pro, Roto-Rooter, Aaron, Dave, and his buddy Oracle status. I told him I'd do that. They'd get the highest honor.
By the way, remember when you was a kid and your dad would say, just jiggle the handle every time the toilet would back up with great tasting, slimy living green water? Remember how you got your dog to stop drinking out of the toilet? Obviously, where I came from.
By the way, another guy I ran into at First Watch yesterday, a friend of mine, he says he takes his 14-year-old son to school, and he loves slimy green water. He made a comment about our green water, and he loves the show, but his 14-year-old son doesn't like our show, TC.
He doesn't.
We're not getting the 14-year audience. He wants to listen to 80s music instead of our show.
Yeah, well,
Him and his dad fight over it.
Well, he'll like today's feel-good song. If he's a high school kid, he'll love that.
My son Parker picked up my multi-GNC mega vitamins from GNC yesterday, and he came home with this Muscle Body magazine with him. Look at that guy. See this, folks? This is my show and tell. See this right here? That's the Bulldog in 2 months. Right there, baby.
That's
ripped.
It.
When I'm Judge Bulldog, I'm gonna do it with my shirt off. I'm just teasing.
Now, think about it now. You got the weight loss thing going, and your house is going to be the cleanest if you do the aerobics thing,
We're getting new carpet.
New carpet. You get your aerobics in while you clean the house.
That's right.
The house will be spotless.
I am not kidding you. My son Parker and I were moving the weightlifting. Where it got bad was where the main room where the exercise equipment is. We were moving weights, all the equipment, ripping up the carpet because I was looking for a drain, and we were pulling up this. I was pulling up this carpet, cutting the carpet. I must have done this for 30 minutes. I thought I was going to die. I laid down on the concrete and took a breather because I thought I was going to die.
And he's like, come on, Dad.
Hey, let's, since he's here, because he's a reliable, dependable guest, I'm going to get Steve Markovich in here after this break.
All right.
This guy has created a program, ladies and men, I don't want to stereotype, where you can clean your house and get a workout at the same time. This two fat guys are going to hate this. Because they want you to plant standing up. We come back, we're going to have my favorite Croatian, Steve Markovich, aerobic house cleaning. We'll have some fun on Real Talk 1160.
Don't forget, you can also listen to us live online. Just go to realtalk1160.com, click Listen Live. And now, let's get back to the Bulldog.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. I'm known for swimming upstream, fighting against the current. Well, on National Donut Day, I got Dr. Mark Weckenbrock from Figure Weight Loss calling at 8:35, and I've been wanting to have this buddy of mine. He used to work with me back in Snappy Tomato days when he was working with Snappy Tomato Pizza. He's kind of a marketing guru, and he's a good Tea Party guy. But joining us now is Steve Markovich, and I'm holding this up to the webcam because Markovich has done something that I have not done. He's made the front page of the Wall Street Journal. And the date of this is January 24th, 2012, a story by James Haggerty. Steve Markovich keeps fit, but DVDs have been slow to move. Steve Markovich, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on yet again, Mr. Eric.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, and this is remarkable because you're 57 years old and you look 40.
God love you.
Bottom line is, tell them about what your program is.
It's real simple. After my kids came, I quit kickboxing, I quit golf, I quit everything, lifting weights, the whole 9 yards. But because I was training so hard, I needed to keep in shape. And I found a way, picking up Barbie dolls, scrubbing floors, washing walls. And that evolved into a fitness pro. And I'm not making this up. I have been using this exclusively since 1995 to keep in shape. But it's not just about cleaning house. It's about looking for opportunities that you could have in everyday life, from washing your car, walking around.
Walking steps.
Here's a perfect one. I wrote this down. I just built a patio and redid the landscaping in my backyard. And I measured how much I was lifting as far as concrete, etc. Came out to be 23,280 pounds in 12 days. That was a workout.
I did hay, and I talked my stepson and my son into doing it because they're fitness nuts. I said, this will be good cross-training, and they liked it. And you know why they liked it? Because they were sweating. They were throwing 50-pound bales.
Yep.
You know? Man, I must have lifted a lot of weights last weekend. But what is, if you could explain to the listeners, what is the number one concept of doing this? I'm assuming, I'm going to guess here.
Go for it.
I'm assuming that it's like consciously making a routine movement maybe more pronounced. Like if you're going to start picking up toys, you say, well, let me make this a series of sit-ups, push-ups. What's the basic concept?
The basic concept is you look for a way to do a simple chore and add something to it so that you're getting aerobic and anaerobic exercises. Example.
Give me some examples that you do in your house.
All right. When I scrub my floor, instead of just using a mop with a handle on it and dip it in the water, I actually get down on my hands and knees with knee pads, and I'll stretch my body forward and back and work my obliques and work my laterals. Sometimes when I'm even painting, for example, I'm painting, and instead of just using my arms to roll, I'm up and down with my legs. It's really that simple. That's shown on the DVD, which is free online, and then my book, which I'm trying to promote. Oh, by the way, I know that a lot of P&G people listen to you. I want to become a pitchman for any type of home care and home cleaning product. That's where I'm trying to go with this.
Man, you'd be perfect for that. Steve, you say the DVD is free. If somebody wants to get this DVD, where do they get it?
It's online. It's posted online. You can go.
Okay, where online? What's it called?
www.aerobichousecleaning.com, or go on YouTube.
Well, that's easy. Aerobichousecleaning.com.
Right, exactly.
Now, what about the book? What's the book called?
The book is also Aerobic House Cleaning, and I'm not going through traditional publishers. What I'm going to do is it'll be done, I think, at the end of June. I got some brushing up to do, but it's going to be on a PDF on a disc, send it to you. Because it's to get a publisher to get your book, it's just arduous, and I'm not going to go there. I don't have the time. I
want to tell you what I think.
You're going to page 16. I'm lifting a couch.
Well, I want to tell you what I think is pretty remarkable about this. Yeah, you're lifting a couch and making it a weight. I'll tell you what's remarkable is you're 57 years old, and folks, he's not a little wimpy guy. This guy was a Mr. Martial Artist. Back in the days, we used to spar for rounds and rounds. I could never beat him. He used to beat the heck out of me, but it was good training. I mean, this guy's a badass. And here he is, keeping in shape through aerobic house cleaning. That's remarkable.
It is, and here's the other thing. It's like, ladies, if guys think house cleaning is wimpy, tell them that a former mixed martial artist cleans house to stay in shape. But remember, it's not just about cleaning house. It's about finding and embracing opportunities for physical activity.
You know, one thing about doing housework, I'm sure you got all kinds of opportunities to stretch.
Oh, yeah.
You can stretch, lots of different,
I still do. I can still do the splits.
I can tell you right now, I think this is interesting. I'm going to go ahead and admit it. I have not watched the DVD, but I'm going to be lazy. I'm not going to read the book. I'm going to watch the DVD. But I'm going to watch the DVD.
Well, here's something else that makes the book different. I started to realize that there was a focus on people who were heavy, and they needed to find some way of sustaining an exercise program. And Eric, I'm not looking at you. I'm not looking at you.
No, I just thought of something funny. Here's why I started laughing. I am not going to give the DVD or the book to my wife because she's going to say, "What are you trying to tell me?"
I already sent her an email.
How do you do this? I mean, okay, let's say a guy. He's concerned about his wife. She's a stay-at-home mom. Or, ladies, I'm going to be equal opportunity. The stay-at-home dad who's gotten out of shape. How does a spouse get to the spouse that needs it without offending them?
Yeah, actually, I put on my website that if you want to send the DVD or the book anonymously to somebody and say, "Hey, I'm serious, I've got it on there. Hey, I'll send it. You know, this is just a hint because I love you to get in shape, anonymous, and I'll do that for you." It's really that simple. Here's the other thing. I also use furniture as exercise equipment just so I could spend time with my kids.
A chair. You could use a chair for curls. Edge of a table for curls.
I actually do invert. Okay, you put 2 chairs and with your feet inverted on top of the countertops, and you do dips that way. And I got to say, my wife, Charlotte, Lucy, and Carly adore the ground I walk on, and I'll be sleeping in the basement tonight.
I got to ask you this. Do they think you're nuts? Like, sometimes the girl, how old are your kids?
17 and 14.
While they're like doing whatever they're doing and you're doing your house cleaning aerobics, do they think, "Dad, you're nuts"?
Yeah. They do. They think I'm tilting at window. But you know what? Here's the thing. After this hit in the Wall Street Journal, the publicity went literally global. I was on a radio station in South Africa, Croatia, Australia, United Kingdom, Canada, everywhere. I mean, it's been picked up everywhere. So the publicity is insane.
I'm going to have Dr. Mark Weckenbrock on at 8:35. He is the doctor and medical director of Figure Weight Loss, and I'm on the program, and I've already lost 10 pounds in a week. And you got to exercise. I mean, they stress diet and exercise. I think you need to talk. I'm being serious. You need to get in touch with Mark Weckenbrock and the Figure Weight Loss Clinic. I mean, when I was in there was far more women than men. And your program and your DVD, because they stress you got to exercise. You need to hook up. I just gave you an idea. Weight loss, Figure Weight Loss, and maybe even other weight loss clinics. Give them your DVD, and they can hand it out to these women as part of their exercise program. Because a lot of women have never exercised.
Exactly. And
they've raised kids. By the way, I admire the heck out of you ladies. They haven't had time to exercise. They haven't done, and that's where you come into play. This gives them that option. You ought to hook up with the Figure Weight Loss Clinic.
You know what?
That's a pretty darn good idea for both parties.
Hook me up with the guy. I'll do that.
Dr. Mark Weckenbrock. Just go ahead and call him.
I'll do that. Here's the other deal. Getting in shape is a lifestyle.
It is.
It's not a workout program. It is a lifestyle.
Final thing, promote where they can get all this stuff before I let you go.
www.aerobichousecleaning.com.
Aerobichousecleaning.com. You can get a DVD. You can buy his book and learn all about this. And also, send me some kind of a condensed summary of what it is in the name, and I'll put it up on my newsletter.
I appreciate that.
And blog.
One more
Let's
thing.
hope P&G was listening.
Yeah, P&G, I want to pitch your cleaning products. I can do it. Talk to me.
All right. Steve, you're always fun. And by the way, this is funny. Back when he was working with Snappy Tomato, I never forget this. In fact, I talk about this all the time. One of your diets, you would just eat bread all day.
Pretty much.
And people say, all those carbs. But I tell you right now, I watch Steve do this. If all you do is just eat bread and drink water, you'll lose weight. I'm not talking about buttered bread. You just eat it right out of
plain bread, buddy. Plain bread.
We come back. We're going to have some more fun. Thanks, Steve Markovich. Aerobichousecleaning.com. The Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. That is anecdotal proof that our audience continues to grow, TC. Roto-Rooter, Surf Pro show up at my house. 3 guys, based on their comments, prove, they're not just blowing sunshine, based on their comments, prove they listen to our show and read the newsletter.
That's great. That's excellent. We are growing by leaps and bounds.
A new subscriber to my newsletter, Bulldog Nation member Mitchell, added a note to it, Bulldog Nation for life. We like guys like you, Mitchell.
Nice.
Green Water. Does Green Water have anything to weigh in today about anything in the news?
Well, you mentioned earlier, a lot of famous birthdays today. Andy Griffith is in that group.
I wonder if the other guy in the microphone will comment next week maybe about John Edwards.
Oh,
but
he has something to
it was
say
Andy
about
Griffith's birthday.
And, of course, you think of Andy Griffith, you think of the Going Fishing song, right?
Yeah, going fishing. That's right.
This is some guy with a microphone reminding you if you plan on going fishing this weekend, be sure to stop by your local Queen Kick and stock up on plenty of great tasting, slimy, living green water. Then when you get to your favorite fishing hole, just pour a bottle of green water right in that crystal clear lake. Grab your net and scoop up the fish when they float to the top. You'll have more fish than you can handle, but I wouldn't recommend eating them.
Great tasting, slimy, living green water available at Queen Kick. That's for Andy. Anybody going fishing this week?
Love old Andy. Something kind of got a little political lately, but we'll forgive you.
Did he really?
I got some inside scoop. I love when I get an inside scoop, and in fact, we might be breaking this news, TC.
Really? I love breaking news.
Local Republican Party over in northern Kentucky was planning a unity rally of all the GOP GOP candidates.
Yeah.
Thomas Massey, of course, won the nomination for the 4th Congressional District. And apparently, my source says that Alicia Webb Edgington, who had the support of Jim Bunning and Jeff Davis, and she thought she was going to win. She was kind of like the establishment candidate. Alicia Webb Edgington lost. But she was also a former 4th Congressional Chairman, which is all about building the party and uniting the party. My source says that Alicia Webb Edgington is pouting pretty bad and refused to cooperate in the unity rally. Bill Atkins has got to be loving this, the Democratic nominee. The GOP canceled the unity rally because Alicia Webb Edgington refused to participate.
Really?
That's what my source says. Good source.
That's not a good thing.
We're the first to report that one. Stacy Schuler. For the first time in public documents, former Mason High School teacher Stacy Schuler pleads her case and discusses her wrongdoing for having sex with 5 male students. And she's asking a judge to grant an early release from prison. And sorry, folks, I support this too. Yeah, she's gone to prison. Obviously, she obviously had some issues.
Yeah.
She's completed every program and everything they sent her to.
And she's done more than that as well. Did you see the whole? You probably read the her letter and all that.
Yeah.
They had a list of things that she was doing. I mean, she was teaching an aerobics class, I think, when she was in prison.
Yeah,
she did a lot to help out the other inmates.
It's time to move on.
Yeah.
Valeria Beatty as reported in the news, is leaving Channel 5. The weekend meteorologist is going to head to California.
California girl.
This is big, and a decision with statewide implication. The Ohio Supreme Court ruled Thursday that Warren County's growing Hamilton Township cannot impose so-called impact fees on developers to force them to pay for public services such as roads and police. I'm telling you right now, government. Build your condominium complex, but by the way, you got to pay for our cops.
I have to plead ignorance. Until I saw that story last night, I think it was. I never heard of what is an impact fee.
What they say is they say to approve this development because it impacts us so much. Well, doesn't everything impact? You build a house, you impact. But you have to pay fees to get your project approved.
But don't they realize that the developers are bringing something to the community?
Bingo. Taxes, workers, jobs, everything else.
Exactly.
Makes no sense. Those of you that think the economy... And by the way, my son Parker's expressed interest. By the way, if there's any fire departments out there that lets people volunteer, email me because my son Parker has expressed interest in becoming a firefighter. But I know, due to cuts and everything, it's tough to get in. Cincinnati Police, 4,300 people have applied for 50 spots in the recruit class.
Wow.
Jeez. They're going to get the best of the best.
No doubt.
4,300 for 50 spots. Sad news. Rest in peace. NBA star Jack Twyman died at the age of 67. Few facts for you. He is one of only 3 UC jerseys who are retired. I think Oscar's is retired. His is retired. And the guy that he played for the Denver Nuggets. Played under Huggins. Big guy. Kenyon Martin. I think his is retired, I think. Twyman also played 11 seasons in the NBA, 6 All-Star games.
Nice.
Twyman was good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I guess, he's kind of living in the shadow of Oscar, I guess. Ben Roethlisberger was inducted in the Athletes Hall of Fame. I know everybody loves Ben. Reds game today at 8:05. Houston Astros Mike Leake is on the mound for us. In NBA, the Thunder beat the Spurs at home, 102-82. Isn't it weird about home court advantage? The Spurs beat them. They come home, they beat that guy, the Spurs. Yeah. NHL, Game 2 of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals tonight. Kings versus Devils at 8 p.m. Rahm Emanuel wants the Super Bowl in Chicago, and he's using as leverage the fact that Roger Goodell's in-laws live in Chicago. He says, quote, and this kind of scares me, he says, I'm holding them hostage until that happens. That's kind of scary because Ron might be doing that.
Well, wait a minute. So, okay, hold on. Your in-laws are in Chicago. I think Goodell would want to be any place but Chicago.
That's a great point. If you don't like your in-laws, I like my in-laws, but if you don't like your in-laws, he might be holding the wrong people hostage.
Yeah,
like in that
strategy.
one famous movie where they Bette Midler, Danny DeVito.
Ruthless People.
Ruthless People, Danny DeVito.
He's like, keep her.
They kidnap his wife. We want 50. No. We want 40. We want. He's never done like $5. He goes, no. That is one of the funniest movies of all time.
Yeah, it is.
Judd
Great
Reinhold.
Movie. Yeah. That was a hilarious movie.
Reuters is reporting New Yorkers aren't taking Mayor Bloomberg's idea about large soda ban very well. This is from Coca-Cola, of course. Wait a minute. Pepsi and Coke are joining forces on this one. New Yorkers expect and deserve better than this. They can make their own choices about beverages they purchase. You know what, folks? I know we got an obesity problem in this country, but you cannot say that Coke is too big. It's the slippery slope, man.
First it was a smoking ban.
Yep.
Now the sugar.
Yeah, you're right.
Then it'll be Big Macs.
Exactly.
And cheesy fries.
Hot dogs with mustard.
Yeah, where's it going to end?
Yesterday.
By the way, green water is sugar-free.
Great point. Hey, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, you want to lose weight? Green water, sugar-free. The Bush family, that's George W. Bush and his wife, Laura. By the way, Laura looked great. And when I hear George Bush talk, I think I'm watching Will Ferrell. But Laura Bush was great. George Bush was great. He joked. I said it great about 5 times tonight. George Bush had some great jokes. He made a comment about that the galley of Hall of Presidents begins and ends with a George W., and that now Obama could look at him and say, well, what would George W. do? Also, if anything ever happens, just like Dolly Madison grabbed George Washington's portrait, he asked Michelle to grab his. He also had a funny, you could tell he's scared of his mother. His father, he got choked up. You can tell his father and him have a great bond. You can tell his mother's kind of got him under her thumb. He said, I'd like to also thank the greatest first lady ever. Mom, okay? Can we at least say Ty? He seemed worried about what his mom said about that.
What do you say? You're in a room full of first ladies, and one of them is your wife.
Yeah, but it was fun. And Barack Obama thanked him for the sports package that was left behind.
The TV sports package.
You know what? I got to ask you a question, TC. Being president, perks, eat whenever you want. I'm assuming that if you're the president of the United States, I would walk in where it's okay. I want a television there. I want a television there.
Right.
I'm assuming you get like the secret direct TV package that only presidents get.
Right.
I mean, there's got to be a special. This is the presidential package. You get 9,654 channels, not just our regular 300.
You get every NFL game all at once on a separate TV.
Think about the movies. They get like before movies come out, they get screened there if they want them.
Imagine that, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury,
perks, yeah.
I want you to know that if I ever am elected president, which I will be in 2016 or 2020, I will work hard while I watch all those movies and all that TV. They'll ask me to go to fundraisers. No, there's a good game on tonight. No, I'm going to watch the new movie tonight.
Oh, they'd have to build a gold star like in the Rose Garden.
Yeah, the new Batman movie.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, man, we're having a blast. I tell you what, Radio Superbity today, TC, and every day.
Way too much fun. We're going to have to start paying them.
We come back, we're going to have some more Superbity, and coming up at 8:35, Dr. Mark Weckenbrock from Figure Weight Loss. He's going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, how to get skinny on Real Talk 1160.
Real Talk 1160, 819, 11 minutes away from the Huckabee Report. And remember, this afternoon, Real Sports with the Wildman, they're going to be at Knockback Nats, starting at 5 o'clock live this afternoon on Real Talk 1160. And now, let's get back to the Bulldog.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. We are rolling, as Doc Holliday said to Wyatt Earp. I got a message from a Bulldog Nation member that says, green water, we might be able to get, we have so many angles, that we might be able to get rich with green water by advertising it as the dysentery diet.
I like that.
Maybe we could license it to Figure Weight Loss Center.
That's not a bad idea.
They could they give them Markovich's DVD and also hand them the water.
The green, that's it. You know, you clean, you puke, then you clean the toilet. A friend of mine, I was talking to her last week. She had a touch of bronchitis, and I was joking back, and I texted her. I said, "You need a dose of green water." And then she texted me back, "Yeah, forget those fancy diets and plastic surgery." I said, "I can't use that on the radio. Are you kidding me?"
That's funny.
We'll lose all our clients.
TC, I got to ask you a personal question.
The answer is 42.
Have you ever been accused or somebody said something publicly or behind your back or gossip accusing you of being gay?
No, not that I know of.
To my knowledge, I haven't either, but this is an interesting ruling. New York court ruled, the appellate court ruled, Thursday wiped out decades of ruling, including its own, to say that society no longer treats false comments that someone is gay, lesbian, or bisexual is defamation. It used to be like if you said, well, you know, TC, I'm sorry, I don't want to use, we'll use Brad. Brad Amster is gay,
Or is it
and
George Clooney?
And it was not true,
Right.
and it was not true, you know, that's slander, that's libel.
Yeah.
But now they're saying, the public doesn't think it's a big deal anymore, so it's not defamatory.
Oh, so we could say George Clooney is, or John Travolta.
I'm not. They got rich lawyers.
Yeah, they do. That's true. But you're saying that's.
But that's a big.
That's interesting.
That's a big shift. Now, if that were to spread across the country, that would be very interesting.
What do you think? Do you think people just don't care anymore?
Yeah, with all due respect to the gay community, I don't think the non-gay community, they still think that would be defamatory.
Yeah.
I would. Wouldn't you?
I guess. I don't know. If you're not, I suppose it would be.
Right.
You know, but I mean, do people really care if somebody is or they, you know, are not gay? You know,
Right.
like Miranda from Sex and the City. She just married her girlfriend. Okay, big deal. You know.
I was a girl.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna date her, so why do I care? You know.
I got some news from Bill. Bill, he got in trouble again.
Again.
Listen to this, man. This is hilarious. On CNN, you know, I can tell you right now, Obama, I wonder who drives him more crazy, Uncle Joe Biden or Bill Clinton.
That's a good question there. Put that on the website.
On CNN, this is what Bill Clinton said. And I'm not going to do it in my Clinton voice. It's too much. I don't think we ought to get into a position where we say this is bad work about Bain Capital. This is good work, he continued. I think, however, the real issue ought to be, what is Governor Romney advocating the campaign that he will do as president? What has President Obama done, and what does he propose to do? How do these things stack up against each other? That's the most relevant thing. He went on to TC to call Romney's business career sterling. He used the word sterling.
Really?
He also said that Mitt Romney definitely passes the threshold qualifications to be president.
Oh, wow.
And now just
Bill
think about
Clinton
it.
said this.
You just, the whole, and he's going to be out there campaigning for Barack Obama. The whole, and they're going to double down on Bain Capital. And yesterday, some Romney hecklers were sent to hear David Axelrod speak. And David Axelrod is like, Bain, you know, how bad, you know, they're just taking jobs and all this. So they're doubling down on Bain. Now, if that's the case, their number one surrogate, because you don't get bigger rock star in this country than Bill Clinton,
right,
is said, all of those things that the Obama campaign is tagging them, it's good work, sterling business record, when they're attacking that record.
You know what?
This is absolutely huge. And guess who might just use this in a television commercial?
No.
Oh,
Mitchell? Mr. Romney?
Romney's going to have this in a
Thank you, Mr. Clinton.
He'll be putting it all around the country. Barack Obama going, oh, dang it, David Axelrod.
What another gift from the Democrats.
He calls it sterling when Obama is attacking it.
You know what I think? They're planning a coup.
It's called Hillary.
They're planning a coup. Well, Bill cannot be friends with.
Bill wants Barack Obama gone.
He does.
Make room for Hillary. And you know what? He knows the election cycle. You know what he's thinking? If Barack loses and Mitt wins, and it's so bad, Mitt's going to stink. Here comes Hillary in 2016.
Exactly. And they went behind the president's back and said, hey, Joe, listen. Stick with us. Trust us. Stick with us. Say this. Say that. Do this. Do that. They're planning a coup.
And let me tell you something. This is great. It sets it up for the 2020 showdown. Hillary versus Bulldog.
That's right. That's it. That's going to be it. That's exactly how it's going to play out.
I mean, this is just again, folks. I'm sorry to repeat this again, but I just want you to understand the significance of this. Bill Clinton, his wife's Secretary of State under Barack Obama. You know that. He's the number one surrogate out there for Barack Obama. He called Mitt Romney's work at Bain Capital good work and his business career sterling, while the Obama campaign is trying to trash it.
And Bill Clinton, love him or hate him, he's one of the most intelligent men in America.
And Ed Klein's new book, The Amateur, said about this meeting in New York at their house where Bill was telling Hillary, the country needs you. You know what? They tried to deny that, but Klein said that conversation happened. Yeah. Okay? This seems to lend a little more credence that that's the reality, that Bubba remembers how they treated him in South Carolina in 2008 when they tried to make Bubba, of all people, a racist. I mean, and and he's doing it. He's doing it with a wink and a nod. Right, right. He's saying, Paul Ryan, good job on your plan. Because you know what he followed up with? But I think Barack's ideas are best for the country. Yeah, yeah.
But there was some bitterness between Barry and Bill back during the camp. They had some words. Yeah.
Let's face it, Michelle didn't want Hillary to be VP.
That's right.
She vetoed that.
That's right. And look what Hillary's doing. She's going to lay low. I'm going to get out of politics.
That's the other thing.
Nothing bad can happen.
She's saying she's loyal, but what she's doing is she's doing her Secretary of State. She goes, I'm not going to politic. Acting like she's staying up because she doesn't want to go down with the ship.
But now you know what? Look at she's going to look at my foreign affairs experience now.
Exactly. And you know what? When Hillary ran for president, you can love or hate the Clintons. Not me, not you, nobody can attack Hillary Clinton like she's some inexperienced, just the wife of a former president person.
Because she'll stand up to Russia, she'll stand up to all of them.
And I don't want, maybe I'll make some people mad about this, but I can tell you right now, I could have dealt just fine with a Hillary Clinton presidency.
Oh, I just thought of something. If she's going to have that foreign affairs experience, we have to get this show international so you can have foreign affairs experience.
You're right. We got to get the show interpreted in all kinds of different German, French.
Yes.
I wonder how our show would sound in French.
They work too hard.
Parlez-vous anglais?
They walk too hard. But we have to get this show global.
We do.
So you can say, I've got foreign affairs experience. My show is worldwide.
If you are a radio conglomerate out there, call us.
As long as your initials aren't CC.
Yeah. But this stuff with Clinton is just too funny. And guess what, folks? Here's my final comment going in the break. And I'm going to pick this up after the Dr. Weckenbrock interview on the phone. Guess what? Mitt Romney is not John McCain. John McCain, lousy campaigner, didn't attack, didn't want to take part. Not old Mitt Romney, because guess what Mitt Romney is doing? He's taking the fight to them, including yesterday going to Solyndra. Going to Solyndra. We'll have that after the news. And Dr. Mark Weckenbrock from the Figure Weight Loss Center. Jessica Simpson gets $4 million for Weight Watchers. I'm only getting $1 million. But that's all right. On Real Talk 1160. Eric Deters, the Bulldog, on Real Talk 1160. I wonder if there'll be a cameo Saturday Night Live soon. Will Ferrell. He just recently hosted commenting about the portrait. Maybe even a video feed.
That'd be great. That'd be hilarious.
How do they leave that one alone?
Are they going to do something with John Edwards, you think, this weekend?
Probably.
The writers were up all night working on something.
Back to this Clinton issue. Do you know... in that movie, according to Ed Klein, who wrote The Amateur, he says Clinton was telling Hillary, there's no loyalty in politics. Well, let's okay, could Bill have said that? Well, what happened in 2008 when Hillary ran against Barack Obama? These Clintonites, including people like Ted Kennedy, Caroline Kennedy, abandoned the Clintons for Obama. I don't care what anybody says, that stings.
Oh, yeah.
Let me give you an example. If my inner circle, and then that circle just outside my inner circle, if I ran for office and they supported somebody else, I don't care. It hurts. I mean, so you know that he could have said that, in my humble opinion.
And speaking of that, you got to wonder, what did Barack Obama say to Ted Kennedy? I mean, what kind of conversations did they have for him to get a Kennedy to jump ship?
You know what it was? Healthcare. It's going to be my number one thing, and Kennedy's universal health care was his little pet project.
Okay, yeah, okay, I see that.
By the way, a fan pointed out that we are global through the internet.
That's right. We are worldwide.
How do we get on? What's it called? American radio, like Armed Forces Radio.
I don't know.
Veterans like us.
They love us.
We got Army Hospital in Iraq and Tikrit that's adopted
right.
us. Remember that.
We do have foreign affairs experience. And good morning to our friends in Iraq and Afghanistan. And once again, hello to our friends in Union that have the Adopt a Troop organization. They do good work down there.
And another big political news, Nancy Reagan. She checked her stars, met with her astrologer 3 times, and decided to endorse Mitt Romney.
Are you serious?
No, I'm making that part up. But Nancy Reagan did endorse Mitt Romney.
Okay, well,
I made up the stars bit.
I think that would be a given for her.
We're real talk, so every time I make up something, I got to tell everybody I made it up.
That's right. Mostly real talk.
Now, Mitt Romney, he's a smart guy. He goes out to Solyndra. By the way, did you see the grass? Nobody's been manicuring the office complex. Oh, man, it looked bad.
Anyone showing up for work there?
No. Here's what Romney said right outside the Solyndra building. This is something John McCain would never do. And an independent inspector general looked at this investment and concluded the administration had steered money to friends and family, to campaign contributors. This building, this $500 million taxpayer investment, represents a serious conflict of interest on the part of the president and his team. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, I think Solyndra is what I call a shield, or takes the wind out of the sails of Barack Obama's main argument. Why? Think about it, folks. He's being attacked about Bain Capital going in there and maybe shutting some businesses down, laying off workers. Bain Capital is private equity. My question to you, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury and Bulldog Nation, Bain Capital, private equity, or Solyndra taxpayer loans, what do you prefer? Guess what, folks? If you think that the rich are getting richer, and I'm sure some are, according to CNBC in 2011, America lost 129,000 millionaires. 129,000 fewer millionaires. How do you think that works for us? Huh? How do you think that works for us? Not good. Microsoft, I know we got some techies out there always. Microsoft rolled out a near-complete versions of its new operating system, Windows 8, a step in the effort to reboot its flagship software for an era dominated by mobile gadgets. I just want everybody to know that I'm still using Microsoft 1, so what's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8? What do you got for us, prankster? Say something witty or wise.
Well, I had a discussion with several unemployed people last night.
Yes.
And they said that the Republicans send the money over to fight wars and that the Democrats keep it here for domestic
charity
policies, as you want to call it. And they said they would rather vote for Obama, even though they're out of work, because they'll know they're going to keep their benefits and stuff like that. So I'm kind of confused. I think maybe Obama will be president because there are so many people that are unemployed getting stuff like that. Bulldog.
Well, you know what? We're getting to that. Prankster, that's a good point. I think that's what concerns a lot of taxpayers is that, hey, are there so many people now dependent on government that, hey, that's in their best selfish interest to vote? And ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, let's call it the way it is. People vote. People act in their self-interest. And with all due respect to all the charity givers, even that is why it's either a tax break or it makes them feel better. It makes their soul feel better, their heart feel better. I mean, people act in their self-interest. Don't you agree, TC?
Yes, they do. And, Frank's brings up a good point because think about a lot of people who would be working in a strong economy, and they're saying, you know what? I'm not going to be able to find the kind of job I want or the kind of job I had making the kind of money. I better hope that I get some kind of assistance because I'm not going to make it any other way.
All right.
May not be the best for the country, but it's the best for me and my family right now.
Right.
For my family and me.
I'm going to go back to whence we came, folks. John Edwards yesterday, the jury after 9 days found him not guilty on one count and were hung up on the other 4. I'm confident on the other 4 they weighed towards not guilty based on the one not guilty verdict. I opposed this from day one. He lost the election. He lost his wife. Despite the last year of their life together, does anyone doubt her death did not affect him? They've had a long life together. He also was publicly humiliated. Folks, I've seen people who've gotten divorced, okay? And even though they're divorced, they still had a life before they got divorced, which isn't erased. They decided to put him in jail for crimes that have never been pursued before. The Federal Election Commission said he did nothing wrong, but he committed a crime. Another comment I have is that unlike everyone else I heard comment, I liked his post-verdict speech to the media. There's an old saying, when the horse is dead, get off. I think Edwards has been beaten up enough. Does it really bother you that he loves his daughter Quinn that he had with Hunter, Riel Hunter? Does it bother me? No. I think it was good he publicly acknowledged her. Another thing that irritates me is how people bash him now, and then they say they feel bad for his parents and children. Really? Who the heck do you think they love? Him. Who he loves? Them. How yucky for someone to act like they can be against him, but we're for his family. Well, if you're for his family, you're for him. At least not getting beat up anymore. What a wonderful person Kate Edwards is, being with her father every day. My kids are that way. I got loyal kids. I understand the prosecution got the jury instructions they wanted, the rulings they wanted on the evidence, and the FEC experts the defense wanted to call were kept out, and they still lost. The prosecution has wasted our money. I mean, and we better hope they don't try to do it again. Prosecutors get carried away. Oh, I'm not going to let them get away with this. I'm not going to let them get away with this. Finally, I'll ask this. Have you ever lost a child? I hope not. Why? Because the pain is there every day. Edwards lost his fair-haired boy, his oldest son, his oldest child, a teenage son in an accident. So John Edwards and my kind of guy, $400 haircuts, aren't my cup of tea. He's a narcissist. But it's time for everyone to move on. And anybody out there that's a Christian, Amy wants him to be neutered, I think. I love you, Amy. But nothing, Jim, our buddy Jim, wants him in jail for 2 years. Boy, that would really help the kids. And if you are a Christian, you should know that even Edwards can redeem himself. And all these pundits saying, well, that said like he wants a comeback. God isn't done with him yet. Is it going to make you mad that he's going to spend the rest of his life helping the poor? Is that going to make you mad? So many want him beaten down, down, down. He was publicly humiliated. He lost the election. His wife died of cancer. He had all this legal mess he's gone through. He carries the pain every day with the loss of his son. It's not enough for many of you. Why do so many people have to be mean? I don't understand mean people. Mean people suck. I've seen the bumper sticker. It's true. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody knows I'm serving a suspension right now. I've still got my Florida license. But as a lawyer in my legal career, I've never pushed anyone off the edge that was standing there. Never. You just don't do it. I mean, cases we file, there's always insurance. It's paying it. I'm not taking anybody's home. I'm not ruining anybody's life. But there are people that want people's lives destroyed. Now, we can all agree. Can we? Pedophiles? Not too much mercy. The serial killers. I mean, there are some evil people out there. Oh, by the way, who's the victim in this? Who's the victim in the Edwards case? Show me the victim. This isn't like if I took out a gun and shot TC, then TC's a victim. I got to go to jail.
The taxpayers are the victim. We had to pay for this.
Bingo, TC.
We are. If anything good came out of this, it's one thing. Maybe politicians will think twice about where the campaign funds and their mistresses are going.
There the brains are. 513-579-1160, and we got a great feel-good song when we come back on Real Talk 1160.
Real Talk 1160 with Denny McEwen. Get back in the garden with Denny tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. to 10, now that your yard is thoroughly soaked. Right now, let's get right back to the Bulldog.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog, on Real Talk 1160. Bulldog Nation member Patty sent me a text. Karma has, it's a picture, so it had to be sent by text. Karma has no deadline. Mean people will get what they deserve eventually. If you're really good, God will let you watch. That's good. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, if you live in Kentucky, happy birthday. In 1792, Kentucky became the 15th state. Also, all of you bakers out there, Buskins, Krispy Kreme, Dunkin' Donuts. Am I leaving any out? Whoever, if you're a baker, Cervati's, everybody. Look, if you are a baker, I hope Donut Day is good to you. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, it is Donut Day. And
well, I got to tell you something about Donut Day, by the way.
Go ahead.
My good friend Robin Meade just whispered in my ear. She said that Krispy Kreme is giving away one free donut today.
Awesome.
And Dunkin' Donuts giving away a donut with a drink purchase.
Was her breath warm when she whispered that in your ear?
I will never tell.
I'm going to tell you something, folks. This is true. We are planning. I got a business venture that we're planning on launching, I think, the third week in September. And it's going to include a huge party, invitation only. A big band. I mean, it's going to be off the charts. And you know why we picked this day to launch this business venture? You know what national holiday is this is?
What September? What date? What date in September?
I don't know what it is, but my staff checked it out.
Oh,
we are going to launch this business on National Cream-Filled Donut Day. There is a National Donut Day today. But in September, there is a National Cream-Filled Donut, and the Bulldog's favorite donut is the Bavarian Cream. Chuck, are you excited about what we're going to do on National Cream-Filled Donut Day?
Yes, I'm bristled with anticipation.
Cream-filled
Now,
donut
TC,
day.
this is graduation season for high schools. About a month ago, it was for the colleges. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, if you have a graduate, congratulations. If you are a graduate, congratulations. If you're a grandparent, I know how proud you are. I'm a grandparent now. I can bond with you. If you are a family member, a brother, sister, you're glad the kid's moving on to college and you get his room. Congratulations. Whatever the circumstances are, congratulations. And for only you graduates and people associated and allied with graduates on this wonderful season, TC.
Yes.
Introduce your song.
Well, you know what? We want to extend this also. We appreciate the accomplishments of the graduates, but we also, if you're 5 years old to 18, if you've been in school for 9 months.
I apologize, TC, for the interruption.
All right.
Bulldog Nation member Tom pointed out, Grader sells donuts too.
All right, Graders.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
There you go. But anyone who's been in school, if you're 5, 6, 12 years old, all right, this is your anthem. This is the day you get to clean out your locker and dump all those notebooks in the hall. Run down the hall for the last time because tomorrow you're sleeping in. All next week you're sleeping in, baby. Here's Alice.
Done just like a rock DJ, baby.
That was good.
You the man, TC. Yeah. What a great song.
Yes, it is.
Eva, we give you Oracle status. Alice Cooper. Did you have a party your graduation night, Chuck?
Oh, yeah.
And then the next day, too?
Oh, yeah. And all summer long.
Oh, yeah.
No more tests, teachers, principals, rules.
Remember how happy I was when I realized I did not have to be in Mrs. Walker's class anymore.
I wore the same red tie every day my senior year, clip on it, coming to Latin school. And at the conclusion of my graduation, I burned it in the parking lot.
That's awesome.
That was a dirty red clip-on tie. Every day. No more principals.
We soaped the school. I mean, somebody soaped the school windows.
The radio station, Real Talk 1160 and Bulldog Nation, would like to tell everybody that we are not advocating the overthrow of any government. We're just happy that schools are out.
Yes.
TC, we've done some great shows, buddy, but I'm telling you, man, we smacked this one out of the park.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, good golly.
Smackdown.
I would tell you something. And I say this for a reason because I admit I'm selling, okay? I challenge anybody to listen to our webcast of today's show or our podcast of today's show and tell me it's not the best morning show, not just in the tri-state, in the country.
And if you miss any part of it, you can catch the podcast.
Tell them how they can catch it.
Anytime. You can catch it at realtalk1160.com. With Bulldog Podcast, it's right there. We usually have it up by about 9:15 every day.
Yep.
It's there for you.
God, I'm all pumped. I'm ready. I want to go do something now.
Ready to go punch the
Go lift
mailman.
some weights. Gonna go clean the house.
There will be no punching.
Gonna go
Chuck,
clean the
you're
house.
supposed to be supporting me as to control my anger.
How can you be angry on
You know one way that I think you deal with anger is stay happy. Listening to good music keeps you happy.
That's true.
That's one of the techniques I'm using.
That's true.
You know another technique that I've been told? You put a rubber band on your wrist.
Yeah.
I've been wearing a rubber band, and if you start to feel a little tension, you hit that thing. My wrist has been bloodied all week long. I'm going to have to go get stitches in the wrist. I wonder how many of those smacks with that rubber band are going to cut my wrist apart.
Doesn't seem like it's working, does it?
No, TC, I haven't lost my cool except against Brad Amster. I get mad at Brad.
Yeah, well, he deserves it.
But
no, that's a joke. That's a joke.
TC, what are you doing this weekend, if anything? You do anything fun?
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see. Mom's birthday's today, so probably going to have lunch with Mom. Then this weekend, going to have the whole family, grandkids, everybody going to come over and just, spoiler rotten, that kind of thing. So
there's nothing like Spawn. Got some information I'd like to share with you. This National Cream-Filled Donut Day, Bulldog Nation, Molly, let me know, is September the 14th. I'm going to go ahead and tease it. Mark September 14th down. National Cream. And by the way, Bulldog Nation member Ryan gives it up to you, TC. He says, TC just reunioned every parent's summer. We took them back, didn't we, TC?
Yeah. That one, we had to lean way back for that one.
By the way, if you haven't seen the movie Dark Shadows, it's not a very good movie. But Alice Cooper plays himself, and he plays at the Collins Barnabas's mansion, and he plays like 5 songs during the movie.
Well, that's worth seeing, I guess, like going to a concert.
If you're a vampire, Alice Cooper's a good choice to play.
Nice choice.
Good, Lady Gaga, Alice Cooper. Who else would be good if you're a vampire?
Ozzy.
Come on over.
Ozzy.
Nancy Pelosi. Oh,
I wonder if we could get Alice Cooper for our kickoff band.
That would be
Molly, check that out. We blow people away.
Nice. Get it, borrow some money from Green Water.
Yeah.
To pay for it.
Yeah. We'll be giving away green water at this event.
Now,
Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie.
Zombie playing Dracula, playing vampire.
I tell you right now, music, I've said this all the time about music. That's why we like to play a feel-good song. Music is a quote-unquote drug that doesn't get you addicted in a bad way, don't have withdrawal from, and it mood alters. I can tell you right now, I listen to some good music. Sales lady Patty shaking her. Yeah. Patty, how you doing?
Doing great.
Yeah. Figure weight loss in Edgewood, Kentucky. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, let's face it. None of us want to be overweight. And with all the great food there is to eat and no time and all the stress, I think America is a bunch of stress eaters. I found that out in the last 3 months. Bottom line is I think if you are struggling, you can't beat the Figure Weight Loss Center in Edgewood, Kentucky. Dr. Mark Weckenbrock, he'll get you on the program, and you will lose weight. TC, final word?
Happy birthday, Mom. We love you.
All right, this is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. I hope tomorrow and today is yours. We'll be back Monday with what we deliver, radio superbity on Real Talk 1160.